Okay, fourth grade. We are introducing a new lesson today. It is partial quotients division. This is 6-4, page 198. We are going to find out how to find the quotient that is the answer to a division problem using a strategy that will help us divide large numbers. So let's jump right in with number one. We are dealing with 96. I'm going to tell you how to read this problem first of all. Usually we're used to reading from left to right, but we're starting inside this little division sign here. And this problem reads 96 divided by 6. Now we'll deal with the estimate in a moment. We can write in the number model. I mean, they already told us it's just 96 divided by 6 equals, it says, put the unknown in. We don't know what it is yet, so just go ahead and put the x in there. I guess we can work with the estimate real quick. I know 6 goes into 60 10 times. I'm going to ballpark this and say, I don't know, about 15. I'm going to say estimate 96 divided by 6. And I did a pretty shabby job of estimating, and we will work more closely on how to better estimate division problems, but I wanted to focus on the actual process of partial quotients division today. Now, you do have some room on this page. And if you write small and you're using a pencil, it's possible to do the partial quotients in the actual book. However, I like having a lot of space to work with, so I'm going to go with my handy-dandy notebook. So I'm going to rewrite our problem. I want you to follow along. It might be useful for you to write this down as well. Here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to put him right here. 96 divided by 6. The first thing you do in a partial quotient division problem, we're going to make a long line right here. And I made them about 5 lines long, I think. The bigger your dividend, the longer the line. 96 is not too big of a number. So here's how partial quotient division works. We're going to take chunks out of 96, piece by piece, using multiples that we can do in our heads, or hopefully can do in our heads. Here's the good news. You can break this number down however you want. If you just want to take 6 off at a time, you can do that. It's going to take longer, but you can do that. So let me show you exactly what I mean. I want you to think something that you can multiply 6 by that will get us at least close to 96, but not over 96. I want you to think of something that could be really easy to multiply by. Now, some of you might say, well, I know 6 times 2 equals 12, and we could take 12 is kind of close to 96, I guess. I mean, it's 84 away. Can we do something higher? Yeah, I think we can do something higher. Can I give you the first thing I usually look? I look for powers of 10 or things that end in 0. So can we do 6 times 10? Would that work? And if you're sitting there, you might be saying, well, 6 times 10 equals 60. So 60 is getting a little bit closer to 10, or excuse me, getting a little bit closer to 96. So why don't we start with that? Let's multiply 6 times 10, and whatever you're multiplying by, you're going to put on the right side here. So 6 times 10, we should know that 6 times 10 equals 60. And whatever you get there, when you multiply these two together, you're going to put your answer below 96. and we're going to take that away from 96. So I'm going to ask you to do some quick multiplication here. What is 96, or excuse me, what is 6 minus 0? That's 6. What is 9 minus 6? That's 3. So here's what we have left. We have 36 left. And we still need to figure out how many times can 6 now go into 36. And this is where your knowing your multiplication tables comes back to really help you out here. Because you can ask yourself this question. What times 6 equals 36? 6 times blank equals 36. And you can either check your multiplication chart, or you may already know that 6 times 6 equals 36. So remember, every time we take a chunk off when we do 6 times 6, you need to put your answer underneath here, and we need to subtract him away. Now, what is 36 minus 36? 0. We have nothing left over, which means we have nothing left to divide or multiply. So is our answer 10 and 6? Not quite. There's one more thing we need to do. Anything you have in this column here, we need to add up at the end. So I know this is my ones place and he's a ones too. So if we add these two numbers together, 0 plus 6 equals 6. 1 plus nothing equals 16. And so our grand total, 6 goes into 96 16 times. Okay, so let's go back to our page. Let's check it out. 96 divided by 6 equals, we said 16. Now I will show you, if you would like, I can show you a different way. The cool thing about partial quotients is it's up to whatever you feel comfortable multiplying, what works for you. You could also go this route. Let's say you the best you know is 6 times 2. Maybe that's the best you can do. So you can say 6 times 2 equals 12. So 96 minus 12 equals 84. You could do 6 times 2 again, equals 12, equals 72. You could do 6 times 2 again, minus 12, equals 60. So maybe you start off with a small number here, and it's not until you get to 60 where something clicks in your head and you're like, oh wait, maybe I don't have to do just 12 at a time each time, because I know 6 and 60, there's a relationship there. I know that 6 times 10 equals 60. So could I skip ahead? Could I, instead of just doing 12s for the rest of my life here, can I do 6 times 10? 6 times 10 equals 60. 60 minus 60 is 0. And now we have to add up the right side again. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 10. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Does that match the answer we already got over here? You bet. So the cool thing about partial products would be multiplication. Partial quotients is you get to choose how and what numbers you want to, what multiples you want to do. We could do 2, 2, 2, 10. The first one we just did a 10 and a 6. The more multiplication facts you know, the quicker you're going to be able to solve these problems. For instance, I'm going to take you to number 2 as well. Okay, if you want to try number 2 on your own, pause this video, try it on your own with partial quotients, and then we'll walk through it together. So pause that video right now if you want to give it a shot. Elsewise, I'm moving forward. I'm going to do it. Okay, here goes. You ready? Okay, I'm going back to my notebook. So in the interest of not making this video too long, I'm already at 10 minutes. I'm going to do this one a little bit quicker. All right, here we go. We're doing 84 divided by 7. They gave us that already. 84 divided by 7. So here is the first thing you need to do. We need to make that line that comes along the right side. And next, you need to think something that you can multiply 7 by that will get us pretty close to 84, but not over 84. And again, remember, I like using tens, like whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Can we do 7 times 10? Does that work? It's a quick one we can do in our head, because we know 7 times 10 equals 70. Is that close to 84? You bet. Is it over 84? It's not. That means it works. Let's do 7 times 10. And we know, automatic. 7 times 10 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You gotta take that 70 away. What's that leave us? 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 7 is 1. That leaves us with 14. Now tell me, what do you know about the relationship between 14 and 7? What can you multiply 7 by to equal 14? Yeah, 2. 7 times 2 equals 14. Look at this. This works out perfectly. What's 14 minus 14? 0. There's nothing left to do except to add up what's on the right side. And do you notice what I did this time around? I made sure my 2 stayed a little bit closer to the ones place, so I could add these a little bit easier. You don't want to add this 2 to the 1, because this is a ones place, this is a tens place. That will throw everything off. So keep the ones in the same area. 0 plus 2 equals 2. 1 plus nothing equals 1. Our answer is 12. If you practice this will be almost as fun as lattice multiplication. This is a fan favorite amongst students. So if this is crazy, if it's too long-winded, if it's too confusing, please go to YouTube. There are so many good videos on partial quotients division. There's ones that are like 4 minutes long. They do it much quicker because we weren't dealing with, or excuse me, they're not dealing with the actual page. But this is such a fun strategy. You can put your answer right up top. That's where our answer to these types of division problems go. In fact, I'll go do this for number 1 as well. Okay, if you have any questions or concerns, we're going to be doing partial quotients division for the foreseeable future. So this, I know all lessons are important, but this one is really important. All right, guys, I hope you had fun. I will talk to you later.